Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their victory and win against the Falcons on Sunday. I'm going to go to the Week 2 picks here. Week 2 NFL, Commanders over Packers, Cowboys over Giants, Steelers over Seahawks, Rams over Titans, Bills over Jets, Patriots over Dolphins. In an upset, Jaguars go over the Bengals, 49ers over the Saints, Ravens over the Browns, Lions over the Bears, Colts over the Broncos in the second upset, Cardinals over the Panthers, Eagles over the Chiefs, Falcons over the Vikings, Bucs over the Texans, Chargers over the Raiders. That's your Week 2 Now pick. I want to go on about the victory with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-20 against the Atlanta Falcons in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia, Sunday. Great victory for the Bucs. Tough game. Falcons gave us all we wanted. Went down, scored a late last touchdown. Mayfield answered with a long pass to Buccaneers, his second TD of the day. Wonderful catch. We got ahead. We kicked an extra point, was missed. And it was 23-20 instead of 24-20. Falcons got the ball, went all the way down the field to near the goal line, brung their kicker out, and he shanked the kick, or it went to overtime. That's how close it was. A great game. Wasn't one of Mayfield's best passing performances, but he led the team. He led them to a big victory, and with a division rival, the Falcons. We lost twice to them last year. We won this one, the first game of the two that we played this year. Wonderful game. Defense looked pretty good. Hassan Reddick got one sack. We have a lot to work on the defense. Our offense looked real well when they got out there and played. And really they did play. We had some running from Bucky Irvin. We had good catches from Mike Evans and Abuku. We looked real good. K. Dotton was missed on it. Could have been a touchdown from Mayfield. He overthrew it. Wasn't one of Mayfield's best throwing days, but he led the team to victory. And at the end of the day, it's a winner, it's a loss, and it was a win. Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons are a wonderfully good team. There's no taking it away from this team. It's going to win games. It's going to be the best team in this division besides us. That's what I'm telling you. You all know it. Y'all follow football. You know it, okay? They're the number 2 team in this division, and they're a good team. We had a great victory. No injuries. No great injuries whatsoever of any player on the team. So we'll be ready to play the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football this Monday at 7 o'clock in Houston. And after that game, there will be a second game, the Raiders and the Chargers. That'll start at 10 o'clock, 10:30 on ESPN Monday night. A lot of good games out there played this week. The Lions were destroyed by the Green Bay Packers. The Detroit Lions, losing their offensive and defensive coordinator, showed up and got tore up in Green Bay this week by the Green Bay Packers. Micah Parsons got a sack, but it wasn't just one player. It was a total victory by the Green Bay Packers, and they stepped up to be the leader in that division with that win over the Detroit Lions. Not that Detroit's got a good team, but when you lose Aaron Glenn and you lose Ben Johnson, your offensive defense coordinator, and you're Dan Quinn, you've lost your right and your left arm, okay? Now you've got to start again, and we all know it. We all knew it was going to be rough and tough, and it was rough and tough because Green Bay showed up to play. And I can tell you all right now, Green Bay, in my opinion, is one of the top 4 teams in the NFC. Just take it for what you said right here from the Cowboys. So that was another game that was played. And, of course, we had the tremendous Cowboy-Eagle game, the Thursday night football. What a game that was. If C.D. Lamb would have caught 3 passes going down the field from Dak Prescott, they would have beat the defending world champions the other night, the Dallas Cowboys. And you've heard Cowboy talk about Dak Prescott over and over again about Dak. He can't do this, he can't do that, but he's a good quarterback. Well, let me give Dak Prescott his due. He played a good game the other night against the Philadelphia Eagles on the opening game and should have won that game. And my hat's off to Dak Prescott. But that's just what I'm saying. Y'all saw it, and y'all know that Cowboys right about that. Dak deserves credit. If C.D. Lamb would have lived up to the $40 million a year contract he's got, he'd have caught them balls. Dak Prescott put him right to it. But that's how it goes in football. This is what the NFL is about, giving you some of the games of last week. The Miami Dolphins, me and DJX talked about the Miami Dolphins last week. The question from DJX about Miami. And we said they're in bad shape. I told everybody they were in bad shape. They're in terrible shape than that. They got beat 33-8 by the Indianapolis Colts in Indiana. The team looks terrible. People on the bench were screaming at each other, screaming at the coach. He's lost the team. Us people that follow football and watch Sports Talk the Cowboy know what losing the team is. McDaniels in Miami has lost the team. And I can tell you right now, you be on coach watch McDaniels, because if he loses this week to the Patriots and he goes on to lose a couple more games, he got to play the Jets and the Bills, which ain't they're all in his division, and he goes 0-4, he will be gone as a coach of the Miami Dolphins. And the general manager will be gone too. Just saying. Watch the game tonight, this week, between the Patriots and the Dolphins in Miami. It'll be must-watch football. Another big game this week. Super Bowl last year, the Eagles against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are down losing one game to the Chargers last week, Friday night in Brazil. They don't want to go lose two. Who they got to play? The world champion that they played in the Super Bowl last year. So watch that game. There's a lot of good games this week. A lot of good games. Just Jaguars and Bills. Jaguars beat the Carolina Panthers. The battle of the two offensive coordinators of the Bucs. Dave Canales with the Panthers. And, Lynn Cohen, our last year offensive coordinator of the Jaguars. And Lynn Cohen, the Jaguars won that game. And the Jaguars look better than they did last year already. Okay? Just saying. Keep your eyes on it. As far as the Bucs again concerned, no injuries. A victory 23-20. Play the Texans this week on Monday Night Football. We're going to quickly go to our questions tonight. We got a lot of them. And the first question was, Cowboy, during the game, Michael Penix spiked the ball, but the referees allowed the play before to be under review and put time back on the clock. Was that illegal? Officially, it was not illegal because the review was taking place and Michael Penix had spiked the ball. As the ball was set, he got it and spiked it to kill the clock. The box review had already started, whether he was aware of it or not. But it was odd that he would have to spike the ball. There was a box review going on. Clock don't run when there's a review. So the communication between the player and the referee, I don't think, was there. And I've never heard of them putting time back because the play had already been run in the meantime. It just, that referee crew they had down there in Atlanta, and I'm going to say it because I'm going to keep it real with you. There were some bad calls in that game. They were some bad calls. We won the game like Michael Penix leaning out and the ball rolling in the end zone and them giving the ball back to Atlanta. Oh, he was out. He was laying out when he stretched out. When he stretches out, that's, oh, no. Giving himself up. No. If that was real case, if we were quarterbacks, all we'd have to stick the ball out and they couldn't hit us. We'd be giving ourselves up. Bad calls. Bad calls in New York when they got called on the radio, right off the mic, and told, review it. And they come back wrong. So, just saying. All right. We're going into the Texans. I think it's going to be a tough game. C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback, so it's going to be a tough game. As far as the calls are made, worked out for us, but there were some real weird ones. God bless you, and thank you for your question. Next question from Cindy. Cindy wanted to know who I thought could be the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins if they fire Mike McDaniel during the season. Cindy, I think Mike McCarthy was the Cowboy coach, would be a good one. He's won a Super Bowl Green Bay. He was in Dallas. He won regular season games. He has order, discipline, and a pedigree. He would be a good one. And a guy that Pearson you're going to remember, John Gruden, ex-Buccaneer coach that won the Super Bowl. He lives in Tampa. Not a very far drive down to Miami. Just saying. That's what I think is going to happen down there. They're going to get a coach. He's not going to listen to loud music. He's not going to let them do the dance and not show up for practice. The team's going to know that they got a coach, okay? And if you're the owner of a $1 billion team, you're going to find the two most knowing their coaches. Maybe you don't like how they coach. They're coaches. Mike McCarthy, John Gruden will be on that list if they fire Mike McDaniel. I don't think they're going to promote somebody from inside. They might. He's not even fired yet, but that's just my guess. God bless you. Thank you for your question, Cindy. And the last question from Elizabeth. Elizabeth wants to know why they're playing in Brazil this year. They want to go all over the world. They played in Japan. They play 4 games a year in England. They play in Germany. Now they're playing in Brazil. They played in Mexico City. This year, after this Brazil game with the Chargers and Chiefs, the Dolphins are going to play in Spain. You heard me. Spain. Just saying. They're trying to get the game around in the world. That was the answer to your question. Yes, they're getting a little bit too far out. Some of this stuff, having to fly people 14 hours to a game in Brazil. The stadium don't even know what the hell we're doing. Just saying. That's my opinion. Everybody's got one. God bless you, Cindy. Thank you for your question. What you got for me after week 1's action, DJX?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. Now, for my first question, can the Buccaneers offense overcome a banged up offensive line against the Texans' formidable pass rush?
Be a tough contest. Be close. I think they can hold up, but it'll be a tough one because they got a good pass rush with a great pass rush with the Texans, and they've got good, strong defense.
Even without the Buccaneers, Tristan's Wharf?
Yeah, without him, yep, surely. We're going to put Graham Barton down there at left tackle. That was our center. Mm-hmm. And we're going to move Ben Bridson, our guard. He was a center in the Giants, to center like we did last week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put a guy named Michael Jordan we got from the Patriots in at guard. All of them will be the same offensive line but one guy. Mm-hmm. But Barton will move to left tackle.
All right. How will C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense bounce back from the lackluster week 1 performance?
I would think they will throw the ball a lot more. Mm-hmm. I think that the yards after catch, the Bucs ranked one of the worst teams in football the first weekend. They were like 28th of the 32 teams of receivers catching the ball and then running it for yardage. And C.J. Stroud can throw real well, and I would think they would throw the ball. They're going to run a little bit, get the running game going, make us go up to the line a little bit. They're going to pick on our secondary a really whole lot, the Texans are.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to get the ball, and they know that getting the ball and getting yardage after the catch, the yak, yards after catch, mm-hmm. is what the Bucs lack.
Yeah.
They don't make good tackles. They're not in the right places to make tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was the offensive coordinator of the Texans, I would take advantage of that. And I think that's how C.J. Stroud's going to go after us.
All right. Will the Buccaneers continue historical trend against the Texans, or can they break the cycle?
They can break the cycle if the ball bounces their way and they get the game and the offense going good, and they can keep C.J. Stroud off of his mark with a good pass rush, because that good pass rush is going to help that secondary a lot. If he's off the mark and he's worried about a pass rush, that really changes the dynamics. If he stands back there, can stand back there and look around, that's not good anytime against anybody, especially with our secondary, because it's not the greatest secondary.
Now, the Buccaneers got a long standing against the Texans in their last win back in 2003.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. And C.J. Stroud wasn't there then. So C.J. Stroud now is a quarterback they have to face, and he's a lot different from the one they did face. Mm-hmm. And, in the other games, they were real close. And this one's going to be real close. 23-20 with the Falcons last week. Mm-hmm. Same way with the Texans. It's going to be a field goal. It's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Okay, these are two good teams. They're good teams. Top 15 out of the 32 that we're facing. And that's what happens when you play good teams.
Right. Well, that's what I got for you tonight, Cowboy.
Well, God bless you, Cowboy X.
God bless you, too.
I'm going to try to go to college football right now and go to the USF Bulls, who defeated number 13 ranked University of Florida Gators up in the Swamp on Saturday. They have beaten the Boise State Mustangs in the 25th ranked team in college football the week before that, and they went up to the Swamp and played the 13th ranked Florida Gators and beat them in their house Saturday. And they've moved now to the 18th ranked team in the country, the University of South Florida Bulls in Tampa. Okay, and this week they play the University of Miami in Miami, ranked 5th in the country. And we're going to talk a lot more about the Bulls if they beat the number 5 team in the country, because they're number 18 now, and I'm sure they will lift up like a rocket if, in fact, they can beat the Miami Hurricanes. But it was a great feat of the USF Bulls to defeat the 25th ranked Boise State team and then go to the Swamp up in Gainesville and beat the University of Florida, ranked 13th in the country. And the poor Bulls weren't even in the top 25 when they've done these two things. So a great, great game of college football being played by Alex Golish and these USF Bulls at 4 o'clock this week. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, same as the Dolphins play. The Hurricanes, the Bulls. Great college game. I invite all my viewers to watch that game. Go out and get your Week 2 NFL Sports Talk with the Cowboy pick sheets. Put your picks in. J.D. Hill, winner this week of the picks. Put them in. Get in the comments of this show and write the winners' names down. Send them to our show, and you're already in the contest. Until next show, let's show a lot more love than hate. We have a lot of hate. We need a lot more love. It comes down to good. It comes down to evil. And like they say, always remember, when does evil conquer? When good men do nothing. That's the only way evil can conquer. Because evil don't conquer good. Until next show, God bless you. Cowboy out.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?